Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're all doing well. We got Steve DeFi in the house today. Hey Steve, how's it going? How you doing, buddy?
Doing fantastic. Yeah, it's great to be here, and thank you for having us.
This is amazing. So guys, let me just wait a little bit to see if everybody can hear us. We just started off. Ali Kane in the house. Shout out to you. So guys, tell us, can you hear us very well? Is the sound correct? Everything is well? Some few people are joining in. We got 18 more people coming in. I just want to get a quick reference before we get started if the sound is all working, because I'm always worried that the sound doesn't work or something. So Kev Mo says all good. This is amazing. Yeah, loud and clear, Ali is saying. This is great. All right, guys. So, as you guys know me, I prepared something small, obviously, for this interview. So I'm gonna do a quick intro before we get to know Steve, Steve DeFi. We're gonna have a section for you. You're gonna explain to us like who you are, how you got into crypto, and all the good stuff. But let me do a quick intro before we get started. So I'm gonna share my screen again, and I want that we are on the side as well. This is great. So before we get started, guys, as you guys probably know, TitanXsub.com, get all the direct access to TitanX projects, data, and updates. Visit and bookmark TitanXsub.com. And and obviously today we got Titan Blaze in the house, and Steve DeFi is going to explain it to us what that is, and yeah, all the good stuff. So if you like Titan Blaze and you want to participate, or you have any questions so far, please visit their Telegram. Here you have the QR code, the Titan Blaze Telegram. And then the second part here, this is their Twitter. And here, this is a link tree. This goes to their website and any other information. And if you like what I do here, please don't hesitate to do some donation. I have here the QR code of my Ethereum address, or otherwise, I also have a mikedean.eth. And don't forget to like and subscribe. All right. So, as you guys know me, we have a quick general agenda for today, so that it's all structured as I like it. So, we got the first section. We have introduction of Steve DeFi and his team, and then the second section we're gonna dive deep into the Titan Blaze and its core mechanics, and lastly, we're gonna talk about the Blaze Diamond Club and Titan Wars. So this is going to be very, very interesting. But let's start off with Steve DeFi. So Steve, I hope you're doing well today, and explain to us, who are you? How do you get into crypto? And why are you in TitanX? Like, yeah, probably let's start off with that.
Yeah, so yeah, who am I? Steve DeFi. I'm like most of the guys in the Blaze team were entrepreneurs and businessmen. So I run my own business. It's marketing. I've been doing it for 15 years, and I've lived all around the world in different countries in Africa, in Asia, and that's one of the main attractions to crypto for me is self custody. You can go anywhere in the world, freedom. So I'm in it for a lot of the philosophy. I like the philosophy behind crypto. With the Blaze team, we met in Jake's mastermind. I'm part of been in Jake's mastermind for the last couple of years, and we've been looking and discussing TitanX for a year before it was launched, and saw the whole process as Jake refined the tokenomics and made the whole thing. And like Ali said yesterday, it started out as kind of like a meme coin, and it just formed into this really interesting project with unique tokenomics taken from different areas. And so I got in TitanX day one because I believed in Jake and I believed in the tokenomics. I thought it was interesting. It's like a game. It's an interesting game. And with Titan Blaze, all the 8 founders of Titan Blaze, we are part of the mastermind, part of Jake's mastermind. And we basically formed this in December. It was when I didn't see many decent projects come out, and I read one of the white papers and thought, I think we can do better. So I put a little note in the mastermind group and said, who wants to build a project together? and lots of people came, and we capped it at 8. And the guys that were part of the group are just fantastic, awesome guys with specialities in all sorts of different areas. So that's when it came together, and that was late December. Yeah.
Lovely. So in summary, it's like so there's 8 founders in the Titan Blaze team. You guys know each other from the mastermind. Is that
Right.
correct? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We've
All
known each
right.
other for a few years.
Fantastic.
Probably at least 18 months. Yeah.
I'm curious now. When did you get into crypto, actually?
Yeah. So, I mean, I got in basically 2017. And for years before, I was looking at the price of Bitcoin specifically and going, I'm too late. I'm too late. I'm too late. But 2017, I bought the top.
When 2017?
December, 19,000.
Oh, you got it in
He was
19,000.
into
All right.
crypto at the top, so yeah, I got into it at the top, and I've basically been in I got more conviction in crypto ever since then. And in 2019, I was really heavy into BSV, and so that's kind of how I rode the last bull run.
Oh, BSV,
I was-
the fake Bitcoin.
yeah, right.
All
And
right.
it works pretty well, but yeah, that's the horse I backed, and it's probably the wrong one in 2019. And then I like like I said, like the philosophy. So I got into Richard's heart. I liked his videos, and so just after the post-chain sacrifice, I really bought Hex at the top too. Actually,
Same
so
as Bitcoin, yeah,
yeah,
2017.
I wrote it all down, sacrificed of Pulse X, and got into Zen. And during the last few years, like more and more of my income, I was investing into crypto. So over the last year, I got more into Ethereum and Solana, and I like where those two are going. So I'm as a future, I really like these coins. So that's kind of how I am.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So you got 2017 in crypto, bought the top, and then you bought the
What's up
top on
again?
Hex, and you wrote it down. so so you're good exit liquidity, yeah.
That's right. I was.
All right.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So, guys, I mean, I think we got a bit introduction of Steve so far, and so his team. There's 8 people. So, I mean, okay, if it's 8 people, is it too many people? 8 people? Is it for project too many cooks in there, or how does that work out?
That's a great question.
Mhm.
Like, ideally, if you start a project, it's nice to have a few because you have more profits. But it's kind of unique because when we founded it on a foundation of fun. And we even said at the beginning, if it's not fun, if this isn't fun to do, why should we do it? Why should we do it? So we always want to have that foundation. Too many cooks has its advantages because there's always someone available or different talent coming in, and the guys, and I'm starting to know more about the guys since we've started this, and you realize how talented they are, from some exceptional negotiators, graphic design, marketing. They got some real good skill set and business skills. So too many cooks, you could say that. I mean, because you get more profits if you have less, but it has its advantages because you get a lot of good ideas, and everyone has inputted some great stuff. So we're better off now having a load of people because it's all come together in a good mesh.
Fantastic. That's
Yeah.
lovely. I know that's good. That's good. So I think I got the gist of it. I think we introduced you and then the team a little bit. I mean, there's 8 people. I heard there's a expert negotiator there. I'm
There is.
so
I saw the
I'm
negotiation.
very much interested in negotiating. So
Yeah,
I
really?
might DM that person
Okay.
someday.
Yeah. I'll put you in contact with him. Yeah, he's an entrepreneur, done massive business, and I actually watched him negotiate with parts of different places, and it was really good. He did really good. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, learning a tip of two about negotiating, I think that's worthwhile in life.
Right.
Yeah. So let me probably share my screen again here. So so the first section, we're done with the first section. We're gonna dive deep now into the second section, Titan Blaze and its core mechanics. And this is now it's gonna get more interesting here, guys, because now we're gonna learn how Titan Blaze actually works. So let's start off probably before we even dive deep into the whole mechanics. Give us like a quick overview. What is Titan Blaze and what are you guys trying to do? A quick overview before we get started here with the
Right,
deep
right.
dive of the details.
Yeah. Well, Titan Blaze at its core is a game. And the mechanics of this game is ultimately like taken. It's similar to TitanX with a different minting mechanic. And the big advantages of Titan Blaze is the reward pool, is real ETH yield. It also has an amazing mechanic, Buy&Burn, decentralized, and a limited supply of tokens. The token distribution is unique in it's a daily auction of finite supply, which is given when you participate in each 24-hour period. The inspiration for Titan Blaze was from DBZen, because when at the end of December we got together, how are we going to burn? This was the origin, as much TitanX as possible. And when we look around the cryptoverse, DBZen did it exceptionally. So we took DBZen as inspiration, but the final product that we have now is radically different than DBZen and radically improved. And regarding Zen, I'm big. I was a day one Zen minter. I love Razvan. I think he's been exceptional. I like his philosophy, what he stands for. And so I can say he was a big inspiration. So we say it's a DBZen fork on steroids, as Jake said. Mm-hmm. And it is to some degree, but the steroids is we've changed it and improved the weaknesses that could only be seen in hindsight when you would examine DBZen since the launch.
Right. So probably for the people who don't know DBZen, could you give a quick overview so that at least maybe for those people who don't know what it is to grasp maybe the overview of Blaze?
Yeah. So I mean, the main thing that we have with DBZen that's the same is the daily auction distribution. And DBZen was basically you enter DBZen with Zen and Ethereum, and every 24 hours you get to auction for the tokens. So a big part of TitanX is the daily auctions, 24-hour auctions of a limited supply of tokens every single day, which everyone is participating for. So if just me and you participate in the daily auctions, we get 50% of that daily supply. So if you think of TitanX, like if you look at it as an infinite mining distribution,
yes,
Titan Blaze is a finite daily distribution. So every day, the tokens which is going to be deflating, every day you get this amount of tokens to auction for.
Mm-hmm.
And however much you put in is how much you will get of that pie for that day.
Fantastic. I think we got the gist of it right now, the quick overview. So actually this is great now because we can just dive deep directly how this actually works now. So I have drawn something here. I'm going to probably give you a quick overview how I understood it, and then you can add a bit more about it, because this is how I understood it. But I mean, that's why we're in the interview here, so that I understand it better and the viewers out there understand it better as well. So here, as a user, with your MetaMask, you're going to send 50% TitanX and 50% ETH to the Titan Blaze smart contract, and in return, you're gonna get Blaze. How much Blaze are you going to get? That depending on the minting auctions, which happens daily. And in the minting auction, there's 888 tokens on the daily, and the supply is capped, and it decreases by 0.08%. So, Steve, now probably take us through this process a bit more, because I think I just went like I did a quick dive into it, but explain probably this process, because right now the question I'm asking myself is like, okay, how much 50%, how much TitanX, how much ETH, and things like that. Could you explain that, please?
Absolutely. Right. So to enter Titan Blaze is you bring Ethereum and TitanX, 50% Ethereum and 50% TitanX. And just like in TitanX, you can do batch miners. We call, if it's one auction, instead of a miner, we say it's an auction. If it's one auction, it's 0.1 Ethereum and it's be like $200 TitanX. If you do a 2-batch auction, it's just going to be double that. And so you can do up to 100, just like TitanX. But the more you do, the bigger of the pie you're going to get. So it's like that's the feature. And I will add, it's all one transaction. So in TitanX, you do 100 batch miner. It's 100 transaction fees, technically.
Mm-hmm.
Change that with Hyper. So it's going to be all one transaction. We follow the same path as Hyper, and it's just going to be one transaction for however many batches you do. But at its root, it's one batch, 0.1 Ethereum with equivalent amount of TitanX. So if it's $200, if 0.1 Ethereum is $200, it's $200 of TitanX. So just like TitanX has power for every miner, we have power too. So if someone just wants to do half a miner, that's fine. That's 0.05 Ethereum with $100 of TitanX equivalent. And so just like TitanX has a 1 to 100 power, Titan Blaze has a 1 to 100 power for every auction batch.
Okay, so you call this a one auction batch? Is that
right?
Correct?
That's right.
Okay. So it's going. So for one auction batch, it's going to cost you 0.1 ETH and equivalent of that in TitanX.
Correct. 50%.
Okay. But where does the 50% come from? Like, maybe can you explain that?
We're on Ethereum, it's easy to have an oracle. So whatever the price is of Ethereum, it's going to be that equivalent of TitanX. So, if 0.1 Ethereum is $200, which we expect, which about now, the oracle is just going to match. You're going to say, okay, it's going to be $200 of TitanX. And so to update that oracle, it's going to be like, because there is risk of attacks. And so what's probably going to happen is that price is going to update daily. So at the beginning of the day, you have a set price of Ethereum to TitanX. And for the rest of the day, that's the price you'll pay. And then it will change in the next auction. That's probably how it's going to work.
All right. So you could be lucky that the price is being set in the morning, and then in the evening the price of TitanX drops, and you get more.
It might be daily or every 6 hours, but it's not going to. It's not going to be a live thing, because you have a risk of a certain attack vector. So either daily, probably every 6 hours or so.
But either way, if the price dips, you could get a back gain.
You're right. You can.
Okay.
Or if the price goes up, it's the opposite.
Oh yeah, well, that's also that's the unfortunate part of life.
Yeah.
All right. So equivalent, like what Titan is called miners, you guys have something similar. Well, I mean, the word for it is now auction batch, and you can create one of them. And you have also the power system 0 to 1, so you can have a 1 power auction batch as well.
That's right, a 1 power auction batch, or just make 10 auctions. Make a 10 auction batch, which is 1 auction times 10. So you can.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. And that is even if you make 10 auctions, it's actually just one transaction. It's not 10
Correct.
different transactions.
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And
Mhm.
when it comes to, because there's a limited supply of tokens, which is another big distinction from TitanX. And so this limited supply of tokens, there's only 11 million tokens that are distributed through 18 years. And the first auction basically is 8888 and a deflation of 0.08% a day. So you get more tokens the sooner you get in rather than waiting. Yeah, if you wait a year, it's going to be like 30% less tokens.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But the 0.1 ETH stays the same.
That's right. Yeah. Once it's launched, it's decentralized. So it's going to be the same. I mean, if ETH pumps from now till launch, we'll just move that down to 0.05. If ETH was to double in price, we'll move it down. We want to have, for basically at launch, we want one auction batch to be $200 Ethereum with $200 of TitanX.
Okay. So that is right at launch. That's exactly what you're targeting for.
That's right.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna probably write something as well. So $200 slash $200. I don't know. I'm just gonna write that. So at launch, you're gonna try to match so much ETH to be $200 in some ways. So
Correct.
does it mean now for one auction batch it's $400?
Yes.
For 100 power auction batch is going to be $400.
Yes. That's right.
Okay. And if the price of ETH pumps, then this is going to be different then, right? It's going to be, if the price goes up, it can be $500.
Absolutely, for one auction batch. So that's why we have that power system. So people can continue with a decent proper price of an auction.
All right. So basically, if the price pumps 10x is now 4K, you want still to make one power batch would be then 200, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. If you pump 10x, you do 10%, 10 power.
Yeah. Okay.
It's technically when, just to be clear too, because I'm trying to make it clear, well, basically on the website, it's going to be up to 1,000 power. So if you have 1,000 power, it's technically like it's like 10 auction batches. There's different ways to describe it, but just want to throw that out there.
All right. So the power is not 0 to 100, it's 0 to 1,000?
It's actually up to 1,000. Technically on the system, but when we get the front end, we have the front end almost designed. We'll do a video and just show how it's going to work.
All right, no worries.
Default is 100.
Default is not okay. All right. I mean, yeah, whichever way you want to do it. I just feel it's like make things as simple as possible. So if like keep things as much to TitanX, like all the settings as possible, because you just less confusion for the people, I guess.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, because it's I mean, there's a lot of projects already, so that's the thing is like well, that's why we're doing these interviews to understand the whole process. All right, so there is going to be in like right on the first day there's going to be 8,888 tokens per day.
That's correct.
Okay,
there's a caveat.
There's a caveat. Okay, go ahead.
The caveat is this: for the first 3 days of the protocol, the token distribution is combined into one. So it's going to be about 26,500 tokens on day 3 are up for auction on protocol launch, and then it's every 24 hours.
Okay, so explain that again. So there's at launch.
Yeah, so there's At launch, it's like this, because the liquidity pool is going to be formed, and you're going to have the option to participate in the auction, but it's going to go on for 3 days, the first auction. And
the auction is going to be for 3 days then, yeah?
At launch, yeah.
Okay.
A 3-day auction of about 26,500 tokens.
Your auctions. How many tokens are going to be there in that auctions?
It's about 26,500.
Blaze tokens, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
what is the reason for this? And is it also going to be the auction batch similar to that?
Exactly the same. The reason, there's a few reasons for this. Firstly, the liquidity pool is going to be formed. So we can talk about that later, but the liquidity pool will be formed decentralized in exactly the same way that TitanX was. So it could be a few minutes after launch, the liquidity pool formed. We'll circle back to that.
Yes.
The second reason is it's really interesting game mechanics to see, are you going to buy a market? Are you going to go for this bigger release of tokens? So it's just another twist in game theory that's interesting.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
All right. And the thing is, so this 3-day auction is just initially, just for the beginning, right? And then so the share of if you participate on the first day or the last day, it's pretty much the same. The share is 26,500 Blaze tokens, right?
Absolutely. So whether you participate on day 1 or end of day 3, you'll get the same proportion that represents your auction. And then then the 24-hour auctions will kick off, will be every single 24 hours, declining at the deflation rate of 0.08%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably just one moment regarding the cap supply. I want to talk about that a bit later, or just in a few moments. So there's going to be a 3-day auction where you're going to get these 26,500 Blaze tokens, and depending on the share of depending how much batch auctions you have created, pretty much, this is like you're gonna get the pie of that 26,500 Blaze tokens, and
Absolutely.
then on the 4th day, it's just gonna be the normal minting auctions, which is the 8,888 tokens per day.
Yeah, minus 0.08% every day, so it's going to be.
Got you. Okay, so a little bit less on the 3rd day, on the 4th day.
That's right.
Yeah.
It'll be like 8,866.
Okay.
When you take into the account deflation.
All right. Yeah. Okay. But okay. I mean, I think that's pretty fine so far. So this is definitely quite interesting, and I think you said this, but probably just repeat so that I understand it again. The reason for doing this is more so that you guys you can create the liquidity pool and so forth. Is that correct? Yeah. I mean, we're going to talk about the liquidity pool later on, but for now, that's what's the gist of doing this 3-day auction.
That's right. It's liquidity pool and just an interesting twist on the game, because are you going to buy on market or are you going to auction? And the interesting thing is that the starting price is known. So you can see that you could probably likely get more on the auction. And so, if as the price goes up, the auction becomes more valuable. So that's another interesting, and it's just on top of all that, it's just an interesting game mechanic just to see what would happen. Yeah.
All right. This is interesting. I think I'm just going to hold that thought later on when we talk about the liquidity pool. And that is, you just mentioned that the starting price is known. So we're going to come back to that. But I think this is also something important. So So let's say as a user, you are participating on the 3-day auction, you send 50% TitanX, 50% of ETH. So if the ETH price is currently at that moment is $2,000, you're gonna have to spend around $400. So $200 in ETH and $200 in equivalent of that in TitanX.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then you're gonna get a piece of that share here in of those tokens here. And then on the 4th day, it's going to be something similar. So now let's jump to the next section, which is the staking. And now, so first of all, this is something which I just read, but please let me know if this is correct. Is 100% of that ETH, does it go to the TitanX staking? Let's not jump to the pools yet, but is it 100% of it going to the staking or not?
Right. So, okay. So if anyone's on the white paper, there's at the bottom of how is the value coming into Titan Blaze used? So if you take the TitanX and the Ethereum, and together that represents 100% value.
Yes.
The burn mechanic is 50% of incoming value. The reward pools for the stakers is 42% of the value. And the Genesis address, the no expectation Genesis address, is at 8% of the value. So that's the distribution. So the reward pool basically gets 42% of the value coming in.
So
and the burn mechanic gets 50%.
Yeah. So 42% of the ETH goes to ETH, and 42% of that ETH goes to the staking?
Yeah, well, some of that ETH is used on the 280. A small like 4% of the ETH that comes in is used for 280-day buy and burn protection. So we have a contract which 4% of the ETH will go in every day, which is a buy and burn activated on day 280 of TitanX when there's that massive 11 trillion coming out. And we'll activate it probably on that day or later in the day when the price dips, and just be buying, and then it'll just kick on in a decentralized manner, and it'll just be buying TitanX off market in a big low price, using that TitanX from the ETH will go into the ETH TitanX liquidity pool, buy TitanX, take that TitanX into the TitanX Blaze liquidity pool, buy Blaze and burn Blaze. So a double burn is used for 4% of the ETH. So yeah. So basically 88% of the Ethereum goes into the reward pool.
How much of the ETH goes to the reward pool?
Basically 88%.
Okay, so 88% goes to the staking pool, basically.
Yes,
right?
yeah. Well, what he's done, what's happened there is value. So it's that what you had is correct, but there's just different ways you can.
Okay.
If you want to,
let's put it this way. I mean, for my understanding, right? There is let's talk about the percentages of TitanX and the percentages of ETH, because it's just much simpler to just view them differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, I think for my understanding, it's a bit simpler because I just view there's going to be ETH here in TitanX.
Right.
So how much of that ETH goes to the staking pool? That's more the question.
88%.
Okay, and then there's the TitanX, which is here. It's in red. It's a bit more. It's not fully illuminated in some ways, and it's going to the buy and burn. But we're gonna get to the buy and burn later.
Yes.
So probably, so there is an 80%, 88% of ETH,
Correct.
and then there is a 4% you mentioned as well, right?
Well, 4% will go to Ethereum buy and burn of the TitanX.
Okay.
And 8% of the ETH will go to Genesis.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
4% to buy and burn, 8% to Genesis.
Okay, but this is the double burn you're talking about, right?
That's exactly right, and it's a beautiful extra little mechanic that we built in.
Mm-hmm.
I think it helps the ecosystem. It helps Blaze. It's like a win-win. So we're excited about that.
So this is like Buy&Burn V2 in some ways. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Of your system, or right? Because
Absolutely.
you have the first Buy&Burn, and then you have the second one.
That's right.
I mean, it could be one, but still you could view it separately.
That's absolutely right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the Ethereum will buy the TitanX, and that TitanX will be sent to the V1 Buy&Burn, let's say, which a contract which houses the TitanX, which is used to burn Blaze.
All right, I got you. So okay, that's interesting. Yeah. We're definitely going to talk about that, but we're not there yet. I still want to understand some few things here. So we got 88% of the ETH goes to the Titan Blaze staking, and then you said 4% goes to. I'm just going to make a box here. So 4%. That is the Buy&Burn, right?
That's right.
So 4% to the Buy&Burn. I'm just going to do this. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm doing this all live, guys, so I'm sorry, but I think it wasn't so clear while I was checking it out. 4% of ETH. So 4% of ETH goes to the Buy&Burn. And then there is 8%, and the 8% goes to the Genesis.
That's right.
All right. So
8% to the no expectation Genesis.
Okay. So let me just do that. Let me see. Damn. Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna do this, and then. I mean, I just like to see all the flow of things, so it's just clear for everybody. It's like, hey, this is how things work. So we got here 8% of ETH goes to Genesis. So hopefully, guys, you understand this. Hopefully, it's not too crowded here what I'm drawing, but I think it's pretty much clear. So we got 80%, 88. So whichever ETH comes to the TitanX Blaze smart contract, 88% of it goes to the Titan Blaze staking. We're going to talk about the staking in a second, but this is just now the flow funds here. 8% of the ETH goes to the Genesis, and 4% of the ETH goes to the Buy&Burn. I'm just going to call it Buy&Burn. I don't know. I'm going to call it V2. I don't know. Hopefully, you guys have a better name, but I'm just going to call it V2 for now. But this is Buy&Burn V2 from Blaze, not TitanX.
That's right.
Just to be sure here.
You could call it a V5. We got DragonX has V3. Call it a V4. You could.
All right. We got even better. I like the marketing. So yeah, we're just gonna call this Buy&Burn V4, guys. We just made up the name on the spot, live here today on this live stream. So, guys, Blaze team, I want to see, the update in the white paper.
We'll have to put a note by Mike D.
All right. So Steven, thanks for that, for the understanding here. So let's jump now to the TitanX now. So we have the 100%. We're gonna get back to this because this TitanX here, this goes to the Buy&Burn here, which is gonna be coming a bit later. But I wrote here 100% of the TitanX goes to the Buy&Burn. Is this correct? Or
so 8%? It will be 8% of the TitanX goes to the Genesis. 92% of the TitanX goes to the Buy&Burn. So it sounds a lot, 8% and 8%, but that is 4%. That is 8% of the value coming in goes to Genesis, not 16%. So 8% of the value coming in to the protocol goes to the Genesis.
All right. But I mean,
that's an appropriate number, and it seems pretty good.
All right, but I mean, nevertheless, it's just 8% of the TitanX goes there, right? I mean, that's the most simple of TitanX. All right, so let me see. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully this guy is a bit more clear now. So 8% of the ETH, it goes to Genesis, 8% of TitanX goes to Genesis as well. And then 92% of it goes to the Buy&Burn, which we're going to talk about later. Steve is going to explain to us how that works, because that's interesting, guys. All right. You know what? Now let's jump to the staking pool, because now this is going to get a little bit more interesting, right? Because why? People love that ETH, man. People love that ETH. Steve DeFi, explain to us, how does the staking mechanism work here?
Well, the staking mechanism is the major focus of Titan Blaze. And when you think of how do protocols burn Titan Blaze, another way for burning Blaze is burning TitanX is locking it up. And there's 3 ways to lock it up, which is basically taking it off the market. Burning it directly, staking, or liquidity pool. Putting TitanX on liquidity pool is locking it up too. So what the focus of Blaze is, we do number 2. The focus of the protocol is every Blaze which is staked is locking up TitanX, at the same time rewarding the stakers. So the protocol's drive and focus with the buy and burn and the auctions is pushing them into the staking pool, because that's the golden carrot. So how staking works is it's shared equally among stakers, and you get a bonus up to 288% if you stake the max. So you can stake your Blaze from 88 days to 2888 days max. And if you max stake your Blaze, you get a 288% bonus in the share pool of the staking rewards, which is, it's different numbers than TitanX, but exactly the same concept. And the reward pools, there's going to be 4 reward pools. 3 of them are normal, and there's 1 special one related to the Diamond Club, which we have to talk about separately. So the reward pools, when the ETH comes in, they go, it's every 8 days, every 8 days, every 88 days, every 288 days, and 888 days. So they're the four reward pools.
All right. I think I forgot one, which is the day 888. And the date 888 is the one regarding the Blaze Blaze Diamond Club. Is that correct?
Exactly. And just as a quick summary, the Blaze Diamond Club, which relates the protocol to Titan Wars, has 3 entry abilities, which gives you a ticket. And the more tickets you have, the bigger your share. So it's just 1 ticket. If there's just me and you with 1 ticket each, we get 50%. If there's 100 people, 100 tickets, every ticket gets 1% of the pool at day 888. And we'll talk about the Blaze Diamond Club later. So right now, the ETH is distributed into those 4 pools. The distribution of the ETH.
Yeah. Do you have the percentages of it?
Yeah, we got the percentages. Okay, so day 888 gets 6%. Okay. Day 288 gets 12%. Okay, I'm doing this from memory, so I might be a few percentages.
All right. I mean, we can also.
Day 8 is like 24%, and day 8 is the most. It's like 46%.
All right. Day 88 is how much you said again?
It'd be like 24%.
24%. I mean, we can also look at the white paper, right? I mean, you don't have to.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's all there in the white paper. I'm doing this from my head, so.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go here.
The 8-day payout cycle is how much you said? 40?
Yeah, so it's the day 8 is 46%.
Okay, I'm seeing Rayman here in the chat. He's saying, yeah, I think he's supporting what you've just said. So 46% on the day 8, 24% on the day 88, 12% on the 288 days, and 6% on the day 888.
Yeah, that's right. It's top loaded, so day 8 gets a majority, and then it goes down like that. So we feel that's a nice, and a big distinction between DBZen, which gives all value of the ETH the following day. So this is pushing ETH value into the future, which at the same time is going to encourage participation because the golden carrot is right there to get with your staked Blaze.
Gotcha. So probably let's do a quick. I'm gonna try to do a quick summary here so that I understand it. Especially one thing which I want to understand is the bonus here. I think you did mention that, but you said how is the bonus again? Let me just summarize it here so I can write it down.
Right. So if you stake 88 days, you get a 1% bonus because you can't have 0%. Yeah, that's got to be 1%. And if you stake maximum, you get 288% bonus.
So maximum is going to be how much again?
288%.
All right. And so, and this is linear, basically. Is that correct?
Exactly. It's linear.
Okay. So I'm gonna do here 288 day. That's going to be 288 days, and that's pretty linear.
Yes.
So that's gonna be interesting for sure. So I'm seeing already some of the guys here which are commenting, and I'm seeing here from Titan Blaze itself, make this great again.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And Uche is saying your easy rewards are back, baby. So regarding that, what Uche just said, there are some people who are scared now. It's like, hey, what stops somebody like DragonX to come up and do the staking?
Nothing. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a free market. Everyone's free to build. It's decentralized. If members want to give all their hard-earned Blaze to a staking contract, they can. But there's a thing which anyone's going to have to do. If anyone comes in wants to buy up the liquidity pool or participate in the auctions, they're going to have to come in with Ethereum. So when you look at DragonX, to get into DragonX, you had to give TitanX. But to get into Blaze, you have to give Ethereum. So anyone who comes in is giving Ethereum into the protocol, which is a massive difference.
Gotcha.
Also, we don't have a genesis of Blaze to give any tokens to any contract. So any decentralized protocol which builds on top is going to have to be given the tokens or buy the tokens. And I think if anyone builds on top of Blaze, it's bullish for Blaze. I would encourage anyone to build on Blaze. Absolutely.
Okay, what is the bullishness of it? Like, explain that probably.
Yeah, I think it's it'd be bullish because to get the Blaze tokens, you have to use Ethereum, and it's going to drive more users in. I think. I mean, you don't think it's bullish?
No, I'm just asking, like, so that because you guys have thought about this way more than I did. That's why I'm asking the question.
Yeah, I have thought about it, and I do. I wouldn't mind anyone building on Blaze. I wouldn't mind it. And it's a free market, and they can. And a protocol only gets strong if you give them your tokens anyway. So it's kind of a free market.
No, that's fantastic, Steve. So I think you mentioned regarding people who are scared that somebody's going to come and take the ETH in some ways, something like DragonX. That will not be easily happen here because you guys as a team, you don't even have extra Blaze tokens, right? Genesis doesn't get any tokens. So there is nothing to give away. So anybody who builds on top of Blaze now, like the people out there who hold the Blaze token needs to give it to them basically, and if they're convincing enough, building a convincing project, they will do so.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be given it or buy it, which is, I think both is good, because they're given it. The person that gave it to them had to buy it too, so had to use Ethereum to get in. So,
but what I'm saying is, like, with TitanX is also you had to mine it, so you had to spend something.
That's right, but to get into I mean, yeah, I won't get into that, but.
No, but I mean, I think the what I was just like, my point was more regarding for you to get Blaze, you'd have to spend it, right? You had to spend Ethereum in some ways, or there's a cost, either through the auction or you bought it off the market. So if somebody builds on top of Blaze, since the team doesn't have any allocations or anything, or there's no Genesis allocation, like every user has to basically send it to that project, whoever builds it.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And another thing to bear in mind too is Blaze is a cap supply.
Gotcha.
So that's a different. There's only a certain amount of Blaze on the market that people can buy or auction for.
Okay. So, but you're saying cap supply. How big is the cap supply, by the way?
It's 11 million tokens distributed over 18 years.
Sorry, say again?
Yeah, it's 11 million tokens.
All right. Okay, 11 million.
Yeah.
Cap supply of 11 million. Decreases by 0.08%. And how long would it take to reach, let's say, I don't know, 50%? Do you know that by heart?
Not off by heart. I've got. Let me see. 50% is going to take. It's going to be about 8 days. It's about 2.5 years.
Yeah, 2.5 years. Okay, I mean, I've heard don't do math on live stream. So hopefully, guys out there who are actually just maybe they can do this calculation. I'm not sure. So 2.5 years, something like that. Okay, which is
8 days. 8 days. Yeah.
All right, and 100% supply going to zero. That will take way more, right?
Yeah, 18 years to get
18 years.
to. Yeah, 18 years.
All right,
and that's when the protocol stops.
Fair enough. So I think there is somebody saying here. I don't know. Somebody saying missing a percentage on the staking distribution. Am I missing some staking distribution here? I got 8 day, 88 day, 288 day, and 888 day.
That's right. What he's thinking of is that adds up to 88%, but then you got 4% of the Ethereum going to the Ethereum V4, and 8% going to the Genesis.
All right. Yeah. But I mean, okay. Oh, I see. That's the reason. Yeah, but I mean, I wrote 88% of the ETH goes to the staking pool anyway. So 4% goes to the Buy&Burn, which is now called Buy&Burn V4. I mean, okay, let's put it this way. Regarding the Buy&Burn V4, there is already other projects which are going to be launching before you guys. So maybe that 4 is going to be taken. I'm just saying.
You patent it.
So I mean, V4 guys, this is something we might need to give it to other teams already. Maybe you're gonna be V6.
More the merrier.
Yeah. So this is still we're still out there. We still have to decide if we're gonna call it V4. But anyhow, yeah. So the 88% of the ETH goes to the Titan Blaze staking, and then these are the distribution of the different payout cycles.
Right,
so
nice.
I think, have we missed anything here regarding the staking part here?
I think we've not missed anything, but I'll just add that this was a massive improvement to DBZen, because DBZen didn't have lock staking. This is the protocol which inspired us. They didn't have lock staking, so if you staked in DBZen to get ETH rewards, you could unstake at any time and dump on the market. With Titan Blaze, the lock staking takes the Blaze off the market and helps protect the price, while rewarding the stakers, because that's the whole big drive of the protocol.
All right, that's fantastic. So, guys, so if you missed it before, you can just look at it before. You can look at the interview afterwards. We went through the minting auctions,
All right. I don't want
launched
to.
the. Go ahead.
There is something else, an important thing I forgot.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a share. The share. This is really interesting game theory. I just want to throw it out there. Maybe it's a bit advanced, and this is part of the project which Jake himself gave us the idea. So this was his idea, and it's a brilliant idea. What it is, we do have a daily token distribution deflating, but the share rate actually deflates too at a faster rate. So if on day one of the protocol, one Titan Blaze is one share rate, on day 8 it goes down 0.144%. So 0.99 Blaze will be one share rate. Okay. So what this does, it's every 8 days, so no one can hold their Blaze on day 1 to get a better share rate just before the payout on day 8. So every payout is the same share rate, but the share rate deflates. So in a year, let's say the share rate is going to be 0.5. I'll get it later on the Telegram, the exact share rate, but it'd be like 0.5 Blaze is one share rate. So what this does is, because the share rate is deflating faster than the inflation, future participants aren't at a disadvantage to day 1 stakers. This was because in DBZen, first day stakers controlled the staking pools and couldn't be diluted, and that's why the protocol kind of died quite quick, because stakers in the future, you can't get a part of the staking pool to make it worth coming into the protocol. So this mechanic is going to increase the longevity of the protocol by encouraging participation out into the future, because you're not going to be future participants aren't out staked by the early ones. Yeah. Does that make sense? Any questions? Because it's a really, in some ways, it's a really genius part. Jake gave us that idea.
I think I might probably need a little bit of so probably let's start is like, so I mean, if we look at TitanX, right, there is a share rate basically. So every day it goes down every day. So it will take you more TitanX every day to get the same shares, pretty much. How is it different to what you're talking about?
TitanX.
Sorry, so again, say again.
But what we're having is, so if on day 1 it's one Blaze is one share rate, in a year's time, 0.5 Blaze is one share rate. So you can get, for one Blaze, you can get 2 share rates, let's say. So the share rate is the share rate is deflating. 1-to-1 day 1, one Blaze, one share rate day 1, 0.5 Blaze, one share rate day 365.
All right. Okay. So it actually basically gets cheaper than to create shares.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it sounds a lot, but the protocol is deflating too. But even with the deflation, you get a better bang. It works out really, really nice.
Okay. All right. Well, this is definitely very interesting.
There's game theory too. I just throw that, because someone could say, I mean, I thought you might ask this, because someone could say, what about if I was to auction in the first week, hold my shares, my Blaze for 1 year, and then stake? That's actually advanced game theory, and it's possible to do that. But by doing that, you're not selling into the liquidity pool. You're not staking, so all stakers get more. You don't get your staking rewards, and so it is a risk, but it is a game theory that people will discuss. So I throw that out too. That's more like advanced game theory.
All right. Well, that's definitely extreme. Yeah, definitely very interesting. I think we might probably need to invite you for a second time to get even more. And yeah, I'm seeing here some people are a bit confused regarding the diagram in some ways. I'm not so sure because here somebody wrote 88 equals reward pools divide by 8 equals Genesis wallet.
No, yeah, 8 Genesis. So 88 plus 8 plus 4 equals 100%.
Exactly, like 88 plus 4 plus 8. That's the ETH, which is 100%. 88% of the ETH which comes in through the user, which sends it to the TitanX Play smart contract. 88% of that goes to staking. 8% of it goes to Genesis, and 4% of it goes to ETH. And then
that's
88.
That's the boys.
Sorry?
They're just agreeing with you. That's
all right. Okay. and then 100% of that 88 of the ETH, this is the distribution of it. I think, I don't know. I thought it's pretty clear. But anyhow, I mean, this is, I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. So when you say it's confusing, then I have to work on it now. But I think maybe after that, it's a bit more clear now. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing about Titan Blaze is it's a very simple protocol with some interesting game mechanics. It's as simple as auctioning every day and then staking. Yeah. That's it. But
exactly.
Yeah, but there's when you get into the mechanics of it, it might look complex, just like a car engine looks complex, but the car runs real smooth, real simple.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, literally, as Steve just said here, is there's minting. This is how basically supply comes into existence, and you can just hold it. Like you can just hold your tokens and not stake it at all if you want. There's no problem with that at all. But if you choose to stake, that's also possible, and you're able to earn a ETH yield, basically. And the distribution is as follows here, as stated here. But also this 888-day payout cycle, there is a bit of twist of that, and that is the Blaze Diamond Club. We're going to get to that a bit later. So I think to make a quick summary here, I think I just did. But anyway, we went through the minting auctions, and now we went through the Blaze staking. I think that's pretty much clear. And then now we're going to jump to the buy and burn and liquidity pool. So I just drew this because this is somewhat very similar to almost all other projects, which how they have done it. And that is you're going to have a user. There's going to be an action here, buy and burn. And this is the Blaze buy and burn, which gets TitanX. The TitanX which the user sends, 92% of that TitanX gets sent to the buy and burn of Blaze. And basically what that does, it buys Blaze with the TitanX. So it received the TitanX and burned the Blaze tokens. Is that correct so far, the way I explained it?
Yes, that's exactly right. So the buy and burn is where we're going to aim decentralized.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very least, it's going to be beginning the same way as the V2 of TitanX. So gotcha. We have some top tier devs, boutique firm, amazing people, and we gave them a mandate, make this decentralized. So what could happen is when someone does an auction, it does a burn at the same time, or we're thinking of ways, but it's going to have some probably more like similar to the way TitanX is right now, but it might start off as it is right now, and then a function to announce it after a couple of weeks when things are flowing.
All right. So probably let's jump to the liquidity pools here. Okay. So the first question would be, how does this liquidity pool come into existence?
Right. So the first $30,520 of TitanX is paired with 14,000 of fresh minted Blaze. And as soon as we get the TitanX in, it's automatically created and totally locked and burnt. It's probably going to be burnt. And that's how it comes in, boom, like that, which makes a starting price of $2.18.
$2.18.
That's right.
So it's basically bootstrapped.
That's right. 30,000 of yeah, absolutely.
Bootstrap LP, and that is you said 30K. So let me
$30,520 of TitanX.
30,000.
That's right. 520.
All right. Okay. And then that's worth of a TitanX, basically, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And then you have and then Blaze.
Yeah, 14,000 Blaze.
14,000 Blaze, and that gives a starting price of $2.18.
That's right.
All right. Okay. So that's worth of TitanX. Okay. I'm just gonna type in TitanX like this. TitanX. All right. So the LP is gonna be bootstrapped, and there's gonna be 30,520 of TitanX, and then a 14,000 Blaze, and that's gonna be a one-time mint, I guess, for the 14,000 Blaze.
That's right.
Okay. And you guys, you see, so there's gonna be a starting price of $2.18. Alrighty. So this is that's definitely very interesting. So could you explain now, because I think you mentioned this earlier. You were talking about the first 3 days here, the first 3 days, which is the auction here, right? So the timeline would be the people who are starting to create their what is it called, the auction batches. As soon as this there is this much TitanX in that collected in some ways, is going to be sent to the Buy&Burn, and that is going to create the LP. So now regarding what you said earlier about if you would mint more or buy off the market, how does that work now? Because there's going to be a price discrepancy in some ways, right?
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see, because when you think about it, if there's 8,000 tokens a day,
Mm-hmm.
and the price is $2, if $16,000 come in, anything less than that can be sold down for profit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's very interesting actually, because okay, so when we start a liquidity pool, there's going to be a lot of buyers, because every time you start, you buy, and people want to buy. And we saw in TitanX a lot of buyers come in the first day, which pushed the price up and filled up the liquidity pool. So if there's this is just interesting. If there's $30,000 there in sell side liquidity in TitanX and 14,000 Blaze, if 30,000 buy comes in of buy pressure, it doesn't double the price, it quadruples the price. So if 30,000 of buy pressure comes in that starting liquidity pool, you have $60,000 of TitanX and now 7,000 Blaze, but the price of Blaze is now $8. So if you have another 60,000 buy come in at that price, you now have $90,000 of TitanX in the liquidity pool and 3,500 Blaze. But the price is now 8 times 4. It's like $32. And so if you get another 90,000 in, which makes the liquidity pool 180, you're up past $100 of price. So price can move really quick And that's how price moves in V3, because the liquidity pool will be in a V3.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of really interesting. It's just kind of an interesting, almost like an experiment. But it's fascinating to me to see how, I'm really interested in liquidity pools and how they work. And it's just interesting to see how the price could be above $100 with like $150 of buy pressure. And if the price is over $100, it's going to encourage minters or people to auction. And the more they auction, the more the reward pools get filled up. So that's kind of the mechanic. The price goes up, it encourages minters. They mint. They want to go into the reward pools because the reward pool's filled up. The more the reward pool fills up, the more people mint. And then at the same time, we've got this buy and burn pushing the price up. And the more the buy and burn pushes the price up, the more people are encouraged to mint. And the more they mint, the more they want to sell or down the price or go into the staking pool, which is hopefully going to be more attractive. So that's the kind of mechanics.
Gotcha.
And we just wanted this 3-day crazy decision of, degenning on the market, or, going into the auctions. It's just going to be, it's just really interesting to see how that will work out.
That's definitely very interesting. And Uta is he just commented here. Translation: superb fundamentals. Damn right. So when are you launching? When launch, sir?
Yeah, and it's a game. I mean, you got to look at these. I look at TitanX, look at Titan Blaze, and then as just a game. It's a game. It's like, it's almost, I was thinking today, it's like, you have these games in the past, but instead of NFTs and crabs or whatever, chickens, we've got numbers, and it's just loads of different ways to play it. How you're going to play the game, and you got to look at it. Got to look at this as a game. When launch.
When launch, exactly, man. That's the be like because it sounds very interesting. I have to say. Let me tell you that.
So we're going to nail in a launch day as soon as the audits are done. We don't want to say a date before the audits are finished, but it's going to be around. Just to give some perspective, it's going to be, our aim is Bitcoin halving. That's the middle of April. We would just love to launch on Bitcoin halving. I think that'd be a cool day to launch. So that's kind of what we penciled in, and we give a concrete date as soon as our audits are finished.
All right. I have on TitanXHub.com the launch some time ago. You guys told me you're going to launch after Hyper. Is that correct, or has that changed?
Yeah. Well, if Hyper launches, as soon as we've started, we're going to launch. As soon as we finish, we're going to launch. So we're not really tied to Hyper.
Okay. So I should probably change the on TitanX Hub that it's to be announced, right?
To be announced, yeah. I think Hyper will be launched in the next couple of weeks. I think.
Oh. All right. Okay. Well, fair enough. There you have it, guys. You just spilled the beans now here, right?
I have no inside information whatsoever. We're all in the same boat.
All right. So it's just speculation, guys. So launch. Steve DeFi, you heard it. You heard it first. Couple of weeks. In 2 weeks, he said. All right. So Titan Blaze in the chat also saying mid-April for us is very realistic. So mid-April, okay. I'm just gonna update TitanXHub.com to mid-April because people do visit the site and ask me questions. So mid-April, I think it will be great. Let me just go. Yeah. So I think we talked about how the liquidity pool come into existence. I think that is now clear to everybody. And then the buy and burn part, right? You talked about the buy and burn part. Is there going to be an incentive fee for calling the buy and burn?
Absolutely. We'll probably take the same template as DragonX. So 3% will be the incentive fee.
Okay, but 3%. But guys, I don't know. Have you checked actually that the 3% on DragonX, to my opinion, is way too high? Like, have you seen how much like the people who clicking that? First of all, it's not people anyway. These are like bots. right? So is 3% too high? For my experience, DragonX, that 3% was a mistake, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's really good. Maybe we should lower that. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there could be a good reason why it's 3%, but I think regarding DragonX, so let me just pull up the DragonX Dune dashboard here. So this is a little side quest here, guys. Okay, I don't want to make it too big of a side quest here, but here this is a DragonX community dashboard which I created, and if we just go down here and we check out the total ETH distribution by payout cycles, right? So I think everybody knows. I don't want to make a quick overview of how DragonX works here, but nevertheless, there is a button on DragonX.win site where you can distribute the ETH, and you get, for the caller, they get a 3%. So let's look just how much they got the first day, basically, right? The 28 day, 4 ETH, 0.31, and then on the third day, 16.8 ETH the caller got. That I think is ridiculously high. And first of all, these are all bots, actually, because these are not people from the community. I wouldn't mind if one of the guys in the community would get that, but I think this was too high. So I would really look if you if you could check really that 3%, if that 3% makes sense, actually.
Absolutely. Good
Just
call.
like, just from my perspective, like from what I'm seeing here.
Good call. Yeah, definitely. Let's lower that.
Yeah, I mean, there could be a good reason for that 3%, but I think with DragonX, that would definitely be something. Yeah, I guess that would be that was probably a mistake or something, because way too high. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, on Ethereum, regarding all these people like clicking where there's incentives, it's 100% bots, and it's 100% never going to be the user, which is good if you just want to automate stuff. But if the incentive is high enough, the bots will just take over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're going to go to the Buy&Burn V. We're calling it V4 for now, but things going to change.
Yeah. So the V4 was actually the Ethereum. So 4% go in Ethereum, and it's deployed on day 280 of TitanX to buy all the 11 trillion, or not, some of the 11 trillion, and whatever we have, we'll just be buying. And that's a great day to buy because the price is going to be low. And it's a great day to help TitanX. It's a great day to help Blaze. It's a win-win. So we're gonna start that pause by day. If we launch in August, it's like 3 months later, or not August the 2nd, when this day 280 of TitanX happens. We'll have an ability to kickstart this decentralized V4, and it will just buy a load of TitanX and continue on into the future.
Right. I think this is extremely interesting, actually, because I think a lot of people still haven't got this, which is because the thing is, one thing which I like to do these interviews is that first I don't watch the interviews first of all, from everybody else, so that I get the first impression, just asking you, so that I get the real understanding, like live. So you're saying 4% of the ETH starting the Blaze batches, which is going to be deployed on the TitanX 280 day.
Exactly.
And it's going to be going and buying TitanX off the market or from the original liquidity pool.
Exactly. The TitanX ETH liquidity pool.
And that ETH is going to be sent to this Buy&Burn up here, right?
Exactly. And it's going to be a lot of ETH, because from the moment the protocol launches, probably in April, for the first 3 months, all that ETH is going to be built up in that Buy&Burn to be just launched on that day.
All right, this is interesting because I mean, there you have it, guys. Because I think at the beginning you could have said like, okay, how does Blaze benefit TitanX? But I think this is one of the biggest benefit because if we just go back and check the Dune dashboard for TitanX, I mean, I'm just showing this because probably there's new people here who are new to TitanX, so that you guys get a feeling of 280 days. So this is the TitanX community dashboard, Dune dashboard I created. Yeah, you could definitely go and take a visit. It's dune.com/MikeDean/TitanX. And then if you look at the future supply here, there's two versions here. One, this is the normal version, and here, this is the logarithmic version. You're going to see here on around the 3rd of 3rd 8th 2024, 280 day. So this is the big since launch. If you started a miner at launch day and you created a max miner 280 day, this is going to be around the end date, and you're going to see there's going to be a lot of supply coming out on that day. And Titan Blaze decided that at this day they are going to be deploying that ETH, which gets collected from the start of Titan Blaze up to that day, basically. That's definitely interesting. I mean, oh my god, yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'll tell you that. Hold on a second. Why did this not update? Actually, I think I just changed it. But anyhow, so this is definitely extremely interesting. So okay, but how are you going to deploy that now? I mean, is it now so like how much of the ETH is going to be deployed? So is it going to be something very similar, like okay, every hour such amount going to be bought, or how does that work?
Yeah, good call. So it's going to be like a limit of like $2,000 every. So just to backtrack, the TitanX which comes in the contract is going to 40 to 80% is going to be used for the buy and burn the next day. Okay. And however much is used, it's going to be split throughout the entire day with a maximum of 8 minutes interval between each burn and $2,000.
Gotcha.
So if it's more than that, it's just going to push into the next day. So why 40 to 80%? The rest is going to be pushed towards these bonfire parties. And a bonfire party happens at the end of the month, just kind of like randomly, because we're not going to, it's not like anyone can dump. We won't know. It's going to be decentralized. It's going to be this random, about once a month bonfire party, which just has this massive firework burn of the rest of the TitanX. So we got daily buy and burns of what was given to the protocol the previous day, and then these monthly random bonfire parties.
Great, amazing. All right.
So that's the TitanX which comes in, while the Ethereum kicks off day 280 and just continues.
All right. Oh, that's definitely interesting. So we got more here. Raymond is saying maybe the V1 could help for that day. So hopefully now we have we're gonna have Buy&Burn V1, Buy&Burn V4 for now, which most likely going to help on the 280 days where most of the supply is going to be coming out. That's definitely going to be interesting. I'll tell you that. It's going to be interesting. So, Steve, tell us here. Have we spoken everything here regarding Buy&Burn and liquidity pools?
Yes, it looks good to me.
I have one more question though. I think I forgot something. Who is going to own the liquidity pool here? Like, I mean, what is the Uniswap liquidity LP NFT basically? Who's going to own it?
The contract.
The contract.
So okay. The contract's going to own that.
What's up with the fees?
The fees are going to be burnt. So the Blaze will just be burnt. The TitanX will go into the TitanX buy and burn and be used in the same manner to buy Blaze and burn it. So the fees are all going to be used to buy and burn.
Okay, so both of the fees are going to be burned pretty much.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, so it'll be a V3.
All right, so the fee for TitanX fees, it's just going to come back and buy Blaze and then burn it.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, fair enough. All right, yeah. So we got the fees. I think this is from my point of view. I think we got this. So we got the liquidity pool. We know how that gets created. It gets bootstrapped right at the beginning, and whenever there is 30,520 worth of TitanX, and then that's going to be paired with 14,000 of Blaze, which gives a starting price of $2.18. That's the beginning. And that NFT, the Uniswap NFT, basically the owner of that pool, is going to be owned by Buy&Burn. And they can collect fees. And those fees, if you know how Uniswap works, they're going to be in both fees, TitanX and Blaze. And the Blaze is just going to be, the fees of a Blaze is going to be burned straight away. And the TitanX is just going to be used to buy TitanX and burn that TitanX, that Blaze as well. So that's one. And then here, this is definitely interesting. This pool here, the liquidity pool, the original liquidity pool, has already been created. So there's nothing here to do. The only thing now is whenever you start a Blaze batch. I mean, we always talked about when you start a TitanX a miner. So now is starting a Blaze batch. Is that correct? Is that the right word to use?
Yeah, that's a Blaze auction or Blaze batch. Yeah, Blaze auction batch.
Okay. Yeah, maybe, yeah, because I mean, probably it's just good to have a word or something which gets used, and then everybody will start using it in some ways.
Yeah.
But anyway, for now, I'm just gonna say 4% of the ETH, which gets collected by participating in the Titan auction, so a Titan batch, is going to be deployed on 2,280 day and so forth. And if you need more information, for sure, don't hesitate. You can always you can check the website here, and you're going to be taken to the white paper. There's definitely more deeper information if you're into that. But I think this is great overview how things work, and I think we talked about pretty much everything. So now, before we jump into the Blaze Diamond Club and the Titan Wars, let's talk about audits.
Yeah.
So
we've got we our boutique Web3 like superstar developers. They do an internal audit, but we're not going to include that public like in our white paper, burn paper. But the code is done by the devs with a really sophisticated internal audit. So we're going to be having 2 audits minimum, maybe 3. So after our devs audit, we have 2 audits minimum, probably 3, and maybe one of the auditors will be a TitanX auditor. But we've got a few really cool auditors also, like where we're negotiating with. So that's right.
So all right, great. So 2 audits minimum, possibly 3, and one of the audits could be from the TitanX itself. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah. Jake's favorite auditor we're in contact with.
All right.
Which is really cool. A really good one.
Is that something a possibility? Yeah.
Possibility, yeah. We're not decided to do like exactly, but we're in negotiation with auditors right now.
Fantastic. All right. So let me ask you this: is the code all done already?
The code isn't done yet. It's in progress, and that yeah, it's well on the way. It's well on the way. It's doing well.
Fantastic. All right. So this is great. So you're gonna have two audits minimum, possibly three. So this is gonna be somewhat very similar as TitanX in the scale of audits or in security.
Absolutely.
That's pretty awesome. All right. Is there anything regarding audits or security we have to talk here? I mean, there's also something about admin keys.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the protocol isn't going to have admin keys. It's going to be fully decentralized. The only possible admin key at the beginning will be the buy and burn, functioning the same as the V2. So kind of like basically decentralized with a couple of parameters that can be changed.
Mhm.
But after a couple of weeks, our aim is to get this fully decentralized, the buy and burn. The only part which is going to have something to change would possibly be the buy and burn, but the devs are looking at ways to get this decentralized from the get-go. So if they can do it decentralized from the get-go, that's ideal, because ultimately, like, our hearts, our desire is to let it go and let the cards fall however they may fall. So we don't want to be massaging it and pushing it in certain directions. We want to let the rabbit loose and see what happens. Let the cards fall wherever they may be. So
All right.
That's the aim. We're next time we talk, we'll update you on the buy and burn, because that's the one thing the devs are working on right now, which isn't totally nailed in because we're still figuring out the best method. So that's something to ask later about how that's going to work.
All right. I think that's a fair answer that you gave. Probably another question I will ask is, you said for creating one of those Blaze batches, it will cost you around $200 or ETH worth of $200. I mean, at the beginning, this is how the settings are going to be, and those settings cannot be changed as well. Is that correct?
Exactly. Everything at launch is set in stone, immutable, full decentralized. Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's great. So we have here Ted. Shout out to you, my man Ted. An audit by the devs who wrote the contract is not an audit; it's a test code. Yeah,
totally agree. That's why we're not including that as an audit. So forget about that. That's something. Gotcha. I just said that because the devs boutique firm are making it a really solid code, and then we get the code and we give it to minimum 2 audits.
Okay,
and Ted's exactly right. That does not count as an audit because there's a conflict of interest. So we're going to have 2 independent external auditors minimum, possibly 3.
Fantastic. I think Raymond is also saying here, right? That's why we will have 2 to 3 separate because of conflict of interest. Okay, so 2 separate audits minimum and possibly 3.
That's right.
Yeah. So the other test code is like, okay, forget about that one. It's like literally two audits minimum.
Yeah, this really top firm who.
I mean, that's a pretty normal thing to do. Let's put it that way in software development. So, or like in anything. So anyhow, I think this is important, probably even better. So if they do it internally, if they do a good job, the auditors are not going to have much work, and possibly you guys going to probably also save a bit of money because these auditors are cashing in right now. I'm telling you that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right, guys, if you have any questions, yes, drop them in the chat. But I think the section audits and admin keys, I think this is something we could go back to it as well. But Steve DeFi told us the buy and burn settings possibly are, probably they will be decentralized from the get-go. But he's going to get back to us when he gets more information. Otherwise, join the Telegram, and Steve is definitely going to drop some information there when they get it. This is what I believe. All right, Steve. So let's jump now to the real stuff here.
Yeah.
So probably it could give us a quick overview what the Blaze Diamond Club, what that is, and then probably also a quick overview about Titan Wars, and so that people can understand what these two things somewhat are, why they're here as well.
Yeah, so the Blaze Diamond Club is a really interesting mechanic in the Titan Blaze. What it is, to get part of the Diamond Club, there's one of three or multiple criterias that you fulfill. And every time you fulfill one of these three criterias, you get a ticket. And there's other perks of the Diamond Club, but the ticket is entrance to the 888-day auction. So how do you get a ticket? The three criteria is, first, mint 28 Titan Wars NFTs. Not buy, you can't buy on secondary, but you have to mint 28 Titan Wars NFTs, which cost $120 at launch in a few weeks. The second criteria is hold one diamond NFT at day 8888. So you can buy this off market anytime to day 88. You can buy it on market, hold it in your wallet, and that's a ticket. That is a ticket. Titan Wars, there's about 16,000. It's about 16,000 NFTs, unique, beautiful, and 88 of them are diamonds. So one diamond equals 28 NFTs, basically. So a diamond is valuable.
How many of them are diamonds? Sorry, Steve.
Yeah. So a diamond is just an NFT from Titan Wars, but one diamond equals 28 NFTs because both equal a ticket.
Gotcha.
Into the 888-day pool. The third way to get into the, and last way is hold 4,000 Blaze, but within 1 year of the protocol launch. And then max stake it. So you hold 4,000, and then you max stake it before 365. You max stake 4,000 total before 365 days after launch. That's one ticket into the diamond.
Okay, club. So it's not holding 4,000; it's basically staking 4,000.
Yeah, right? Max staking 4,000.
Okay, max staking,
max
right?
Staking. Yeah, max staking.
Max staking, and the max staking, how many days is that?
2888.
Max staking 4,000 Blaze.
But that you got to max stake it before a year after protocol launch.
Okay, so before day 365 after launch.
Yes. And you do one of these or multiple, like you can do as many as you want of any one, and each one you do is a ticket into 888.
All right. So probably I think one more thing which I think this is
and
something.
Diamond Club, there's some other perks. That's what the main perk for the Diamond Club is. You get that ticket, and there's also going to be a meme coin launched and maybe some other stuff. But the main thing is that pool.
Right. So you talk about a meme coin there. I think there's a lot of information there. Let's just probably one step back regarding the Titan Wars NFTs. You say there's going to be around 16,000 NFTs, and how many of them are going to be the diamond ones?
So 88 would equal the diamonds. 88 NFTs
are diamond NFTs, right?
That's right.
NFTs, okay. All right. So in order to become a Blaze Diamond, to be in the Blaze Diamond Club, there's like three options. You need a ticket. Sorry? Oh, I think I thought Steve DeFi is gonna do a quick He's gone for a second. So the way I understood it is the following, right? You need a ticket to be in the Blaze Diamond Club, so you can have more than one ticket. Is that correct?
That's absolutely right. You can have multiple tickets,
Mhm.
and the more you get, the more share you get of the day 888 pool.
All
So
right.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a strategy. It's another game inside the ecosystem,
Mhm.
and just to add some more game theory. It's just kind of interesting. Yeah. So
That. Mhm.
yeah, I mean, the main thing is the ticket, and there's also a meme coin that we'll launch, an airdrop.
Mhm.
But also with these Titan Wars, you get to play the game. So you mint a Titan War NFT, which you've
Mhm.
tied in to Blaze through the Diamond Club.
Mhm.
Titan Wars is like an NFT game, fantastic with details, and it's almost like another whole conversation, which I think you're going to love to have, because this is with Ali.
Mhm.
But in summary, Titan Wars is an NFT game with a massive prize. It has different classes: titans, samurais, dragons, and aliens. And each NFT is a fictional portfolio, which each round you can change to try and win, because you're going to have, each round is going to be a battle of your portfolio
Gotcha.
against another's portfolio,
Mhm.
and each of the classes have a different spin. Like aliens get meme coins. Titans have their own like more Bitcoin, Ethereum, more top 10 coins. But the meme coin ones only have. It's a really involved game, and I think you're going to absolutely love it when you look at. I don't know if you read the white paper, but it's a really cool game.
All right.
Ali's
Yeah.
Pulse Chain, Pulse
Mhm.
Wars.
Also, this is not going to be launching on Ethereum. It's going to be
It
launching on
is.
blockchain.
Oh, yeah, right. So Ali originally he's one of the Blaze founders,
Mhm.
and before he even did Blaze, he had developed this NFT game for Pulse Chain called Pulse Wars. And when he came into Blaze, he said it'd be awesome to have this game on Titan, Titan on TitanX on Ethereum. So it's a fork, but it's been changed. On Pulse Chain, it's a lot more complex and involved. Go to
Mhm.
pulsewars.io and just
Mhm.
check it out. It's a beautiful website.
All
So
right.
it's a fork with game theory changes for Titan, but there's like a 1 trillion Titan in the prize pool. So there's massive rewards, 14 rounds of
Mhm.
fights, of
Mhm.
battles. And if you get to round 6, you basically have a prize from round 6 onwards.
Gotcha.
Um, it's I would totally reach out to Ali, and
Gotcha.
because our team's big and they're both involved protocols, and I focus more on Titan Blaze. And Ali, like I do that every day. Ali focuses on Titan Wars. So
Gotcha.
you're it's be a good conversation to have with him.
No, fair enough. I'll definitely show.
Yeah,
Yeah. So like the Titan Wars, the NFTs, you're gonna have to mint them, and probably just a quick note here. You're gonna have to spend TitanX to mint those NFT tokens. Is that correct?
absolutely. Absolutely. Titan Wars is going to burn a massive amount of TitanX.
Gotcha.
Um, 500 billion, I think.
All right.
And there's going to be 1 trillion TitanX in the reward pool,
Mm-hmm.
and other things. He'll split it up.
Right.
It's a unique game. It's not a fork of anything else. It's totally developed from the ground up by Ali.
All right. I think
And
we're going to have definitely a
yeah,
different stream regarding that. But
absolutely.
one thing for sure is those NFTs, Titan Wars NFTs, you're going to have to need TitanX to mint them. And if you're lucky enough, you might be able to mint one of those diamond NFTs. And and obviously, then you're going to have a ticket to the Blaze Diamond Club. And the Blaze Diamond Club will give you, if you scroll back a little bit, we talked about this earlier. 6% of the ETH coming from the batches here. 6% of it. Yeah. is going to be going to this 888-day payout cycle.
That's
So
right.
this is only for the Blaze Diamond Club, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what makes that so powerful.
Gotcha.
And it makes minting those NFTs
Mhm.
like a really cool strategy. Could be a cool strategy.
Yeah. So I'm gonna change the color of that.
Fascinating game theory in this.
Yeah, I'll just change the color to be green. So
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
The dollar green here. So these are exclusive for the Blaze Diamond Club. But these other pools here are pretty much for every Blaze guy, every Blaze staker.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. And put 28 NFTs gets you one ticket. And if you're lucky enough to get a diamond, one of the 88, that gets you in or 4,000. So they're the 3 entry requirements.
All right. And you can have more than one ticket pretty much. So this is also something.
Absolutely.
All right. 4,000 Blaze, depending on the price. I think if let's say you got the price of the starting price, which is, I don't know, do I have it somewhere? I think you said $2.18.
Yes,
So 4,000, that's like 8K or something. Is that right?
that's correct. And to
Yeah.
mint one NFT is going to be about $120.
Okay.
So so you're looking at $3,200 for 28 NFTs to get a ticket into the Diamond Club.
All right. So it's potentially cheaper to have the NFT than, I mean, this is theory wise.
Yeah, we've kind of designed it to be cheaper for the NFTs to give incentive to mint.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I'm just gonna read some more comments here, guys. What I've been writing. Shout out to you, Ted, and he says an audit by the devs who. Okay, no, I think I repeated that one, and
Yeah.
I think he had a follow up, which is that's legit. I wish more projects were more public with what the test plans are. So.
Nice.
Shout out to you guys, the team. I think Ted is just giving you a nice shout out. All right. I think I'm just going through here some of the comments here, and what here Bad Sports is saying just ran a poll on the Blaze Twitter, and 60% of voters are planning to mint 28 NFTs. But 28 NFTs is $3,200, right? Dollars.
Correct. That's
All
correct.
right. Well, that's definitely going to be not cheap, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's that. Yeah, and then I think the real game theory is minting 28 NFTs again to the Diamond Club. All right, yeah, that's that. All right. And I think here one Utah Crypto is saying Blaze team believes in transparency. Yeah, and I mean that's the game, right? The game is there's no insiders, there's no pre-mining, there's no ICOs, IDOs, whatever. We're doing fair launch here. We have these streams. We have Steve here, and he's telling us how it works. And I'm also just if I choose to participate, I don't have extra more information than you guys. So. I think some of the guys learned their lesson this week, I hope, regarding some few projects out there which were a bit dodgy, I have to say. But we don't want to give them too much, too much. How you call it? Too much light on those. Like the focus is basically fair launch projects. It makes win crypto already. It's hard enough, but trying to make things like whatever, not fair launch and anything in absence of fair launch is just there's a lot of dark things going behind the scenes. So just follow the path of TitanX and then we're all good. Steve, it's been quite some time now, 1 hour and 48 minutes. I'm quite tired. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's been a great call, and I've enjoyed this. It's been fun. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and thank you for having us on. Bookallion. I would love you to have your excellent questions, because I love how you get deep into stuff. So it's good stuff.
That's great. And I mean, this is the first interview, so I'm basically just understanding your project.
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes like some few things are not as clear to myself as well. So hopefully things are a bit more clear now. Uh, Nevertheless, Steve DeFi, he will be in the chat as well. So if you want to join the Telegram, this is the QR code. I showed it also in the beginning. You can also follow them on Twitter, and you can visit their website. This link tree is going to show you, the website, and I think also the link to Titan Wars if you want to go deeper into that. So, Steve, I'm looking forward to see you maybe on one of the Sundays Twitter Spaces, because there it's a bit more freestyle. It's not as
Yes.
structured as here. I just like it to do a bit more structured here, but on Sunday this is more a bit freestyle. I also do the interviews there, but I just do it a bit more freestyle. So
Nice.
there's a bit of a difference there. And guys, thank you very much for listening. And don't forget, visit titanxhub.com, visit it and bookmark it, titanxhub.com. And if you want to show us some love, there's a donation button here. Button, what am I saying? A donation. If you want to show me some love, here's the QR code of my address. Also, the address in the description. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Steve, thank you for being here, man. Hopefully, I didn't talk too much, and I let you talk, because sometimes when I listen to myself, it's like, man, this guy's talking too much, man. So, anyway, Steve, you have the last word.
Thank you, and enjoy the games. Enjoy the games. That's it.
Fantastic, man. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and see you next time.